Welcome to the Distillery District. Please exercise caution while enjoying the roadways and pathways of the distillery, as the authentic brick walking surfaces may be loose and uneven.
Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who were dear to us will be dear to us once more. Someday soon.
The Distillery District is a National Historic Site with an incredibly rich history. The site was once the Gooderham and Worts Distillery and represents the largest and best preserved collection of Victorian industrial architecture in North America. In its time, the Gooderham and Worts Distillery played an important role in the growth and wealth of both the city and the nation. In 1831, James Worts emigrates to Canada and establishes a grist mill. Worts is followed a year later by his brother-in-law, William Gooderham, with their 2 families, their servants, and 11 orphans, in all 54 people. A successful merchant and miller in England, Gooderham soon decides to invest $3,000 into Worts' milling business, and thus the Gooderham and Worts partnership is born. Construction of the new Gooderham and Worts distillery on Mill Street, east of Parliament in 1859, is heralded as the most important contribution to Toronto's manufacturing interests. The imposing main building, which accommodated the steam mills and distillery, stands 5 stories high and is topped with a 100-foot tall chimney. According to newspaper reports of the day, costs for the building and its contents are believed to be nearly $200,000. By 1871, the Gooderham and Worts Distillery's annual whiskey and spirits production totals a whopping 2.1 million gallons, close to half of the total spirit production in all of Ontario. Production continues to grow, and its booming export business ships millions of gallons to clients in Montreal, St. John, Halifax, and New York, as well as Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires, Montevideo, and other ports in South America. At one point, it is the largest distillery in the world. World War I has a ruinous effect on the distillery because in order to support the war effort, the distillery converts its operations into a manufacturing plant. Then, in 1920, just when things are getting back to normal, Canada's short-lived Prohibition era brings production of alcohol beverages to a standstill. After 153 years of continuous production, the Gooderham and Worts Distillery finally ceases operations. During the 90s, the distillery finds a second life as the #1 film location in Canada, and the second largest film location outside of Hollywood. Over the years, more than 1,700 films used this site. In December of 2001, Cityscape Holdings Incorporated purchased the distillery, later partnering with Dundee Realty Corporation. They undertake an incredibly ambitious project to restore the distillery and its more than 40 buildings and transform it into a pedestrians-only village entirely dedicated to arts, culture, and entertainment. The Distillery Historic District opens in May of 2003 and quickly becomes a vital part of the city and one of Canada's top tourist attractions. Toronto's Distillery District was designated as a National Historic Site because the complex is an outstanding example of Victorian industrial design in terms of integrity, historical association, and aesthetic qualities.